Hello everyone, Ash here, and it's time for another Versus. Tonight, Metroid vs. Halo. Now there's a debate going on about which is better, the Metroid games or the Halo games. And tonight I'm going to explain which one is better. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. It's obvious. Metroid wins. In fact, it massacres Halo. I mean, this isn't even close. But I'll explain why. Starting with, who's a better hero, Master Chief or Samus? So we'll start with Master Chief. Honestly, I don't think he's a bad hero. I actually think he's a pretty good hero. Save the world, save the universe, so on and so forth. The problem is, he gets a lot of help. He has Cortana helping him. He has Arbiter helping him. He has the Marines helping him. A pretty decent amount. While Samus will get help from the Marines, as well as sometimes her ship, but that's really, really rare. She doesn't get that much help from them. For the most part, she's on her own, and a lot of times, she is isolated. No one is there to help her. No one is going to save her. She has to do it on her own. She has no Cortana. It's just her. Not to mention, she's gone to some very dangerous, and I mean far more dangerous than anything Master Chief has gone into, locations. She had to go into the space pirate homeworld in Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, where it was raining acid, where there was not an ally in sight, and she may have had to fight, and there was a chance she was going to have to face one of the bounty hunters, a very dangerous bounty hunter. And on top of that, Samus is a far more interesting character than Master Chief. Master Chief, it's not really that interesting. We've seen stories like that done, but Samus, there's a lot of mystery to her, a lot we don't know. Even in the other end, when you heard some of her past, there's still a lot of mystery, a lot of stuff we don't know about. Not to mention her body movements. The way she moves, especially in the Metroid Prime games, it's just the way she moves, her calm demeanor towards every situation. Now, she's always prepared, but she's always calm and ready to fight. Never panics. And I'm not going to count Other M when that releasing. That doesn't count as far as I'm concerned because she's faced really 100 times, but she's always got a calm demeanor. Not to mention, I love when she always completes a mission. It's always just mission completed. She'll either type it in or she'll give you a thumbs up. And really, she's just such a great, fascinating character. While Master Chief isn't a bad character or a bad hero, he's a good hero, but he's a boring character. There's nothing interesting or unique about him. He's just really boring. And honestly, he doesn't even come close to matching Samus's character. I think Samus is a better character and a better hero. So the point goes to Metroid. Metroid leads 1-0. But what's a game without enemies? So who's got the better enemies, Metroid or Halo? Let's start with the enemies of Metroid, and here they are. The first one, the Metroid itself. This is only a baby Metroid too. In order to beat this thing, you have to freeze it, then blow it up with a missile. That's the only way to kill these bastards, and freezing may not be enough at times. They may evolve past freezing, which is scary to think, then that makes them almost unstoppable. But this is only a baby. When these things are fully evolved, the only way to take one out is to go inside it and blow it up from the inside. And its inside is lethal. Next we have Dark Samus. Not only is it fast, not only is it strong, not only is it intelligent, it also took 3 games to kill it. All 3 Metroid Prime games, it's the final boss and it takes forever to kill this thing. Very tough and very powerful. Not to mention in Metroid Prime, in the first Metroid Prime game, you have to fight it twice, and guess what? It takes your Phazon suit, the thing that is keeping you from the Phazon, it takes that suit and absorbs it into it, becoming even more powerful. Then you have to fight it in Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, and it comes back. Then you have to fight it again in Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. This thing is almost unstoppable, and truly is a great villain. Fucking love this villain. So next we have Mother Brain. She's the leader of space pirates, and she's come very close to killing Samus a few times. So moving on, and finally, one of my favorite game villains of all time, Ridley. Okay, Ridley would put Sephiroth to shame. He's that badass. This fucker is not only incredibly powerful, he's not only incredibly fast, not only is he one of the leaders of the space pirates like Mother Brain, but guess what? He never dies. He always comes back, and he comes back even more powerful every time. He could die 100 times, and he'll come back 100 times to take on Samus. I absolutely love Ridley. I love his look. I love his speed. I just love everything about him. He's a great villain. Ridley. Fuck yeah. And now we come to the Halo enemies, starting with the Covenant. Yay. The Covenant are morons, okay? They are complete idiots. All the races in the Covenant are complete and total fucking morons. First, they found their technology. They didn't make that technology. They found it. They fucking found their technology. Second, they want to light the ring so they can go on their journey. Hey, morons, you're not gonna go on a journey. You're gonna be dead, you fucking idiots. These people are retarded. I fucking hate the Covenant. Then we have the Flood. They're just zombies. That's all they really are. Not interesting, just zombies. So I guess our question is, who's a bigger threat then? The Metroid enemies or the Halo enemies? Oh, come on, people. Do you really have to make me answer this question? The Metroid enemies. Okay? I'm sorry. Samus could hand the Covenant and Flood their ass. They would be no threat to Samus whatsoever. But Metroid enemies? Master Chief could not take down a single Metroid, let alone take down Dark Samus, Ridley, and Mother Brain. So the point goes to Metroid. Metroid leads 2-0. Round 3. Who has better gameplay, better graphics, and better music? Let's get started. We'll start this off with Halo. Gameplay-wise, they're fun to play at times, but the Halo games can be boring. And I mean, my god, the gameplay can be so boring. It's the same repetitive thing over and over again. Get to point A to point B. Shoot as many enemies as you can. You're done. As for the graphics, graphically the Halo games have always looked pretty good. Some games they don't look that great. Some games they look better. I mean, one thing about Halo 4 I'll give it is it did look good. It looked graphically very impressive. But at times I do notice the Halo games, they kind of tendency to use the same graphics over and over again, and it can get to a little stale with the Halo games. So I'm not too big on the Halo graphics at times. They're good graphics, just not great, and they never really wow me. The only time I think maybe was Halo 4 with its graphics, and that was it. As for the music, Halo always has good music. That's one thing about Halo I do love. Its musical score is very good. So, gotta give it props for that. Now Metroid's turn. Now Metroid's gameplay has always been great. Hell, I love Metroid's gameplay. It's from 2D side-scroller to first-person to even third-person with Other M. The gameplay has always been good. It's always fresh. It's always new. It never gets old. I can replay a Metroid game a ton of times and never get sick of the gameplay. I love its mechanics. I love the fact they have all these great items you can use for different qualities. It's just such good gameplay. Metroid's gameplay never gets old. As for Metroid's graphics, oh, they're always vibrant. There's a lot of color, but they have such atmosphere to them. My god, the atmosphere into the Metroid games is incredible. They always look good. Super Metroid, Metroid Prime games, Metroid Fusion, the graphics have always had such a great appeal and just look so vibrant. And Metroid Prime 3 Corruptions, I'll say this right now, people are going to be stunned what I'm about to say, but Metroid Prime 3 Corruptions, City in the Sky, that stage puts all of Bioshock Infinite to shame. Yeah, I said it. As for music, well, Halo has a very good musical score. Metroid has one of the greatest musical scores of all time. Some of the best music ever put into a video game is in the Metroid games. I love Metroid's music. It blows Halo's music out of the water. And this category of Metroid just blows Halo out of the water yet again. So the point, anyone have to guess, goes to Metroid. So Metroid leads 3-0. And now it's time for the story. What has a better story, Halo or Metroid? I'm not going to be on this one too long, but who has a better story? Metroid. Honest truth, I think Metroid has a much better story going to it. Yeah, it keeps it short, but it also is more effective in what it shows. Halo tries to have a good story at times, just it feels very flat, and none of the characters I really care about all that much. Actually, I don't care about any of the characters in Halo. Well, in Metroid, really, we have an emotional attachment to Samus. And there's one particular scene in the Metroid games, especially Super Metroid, two scenes in Super Metroid that have far more emotional impacts than anything Halo could have. You want to take a guess what they are? The scene where the baby almost kills Samus, and the scene where the baby saves Samus and then the baby dies. Those have far bigger impact than anything that Halo games could ever dream of having. So point goes to Metroid. Metroid leads 4-0. So time for the final round. What would I rather play, the Metroid games or the Halo games? And well, can you take a guess? The Metroid games. I love Metroid. Hell, I'll say this right now, I'd rather play Other M than Halo 4 any day of the week. Even with Other M's flaws in story and how bad the story's structured, I'd still rather play it than Halo 4. Other M, I'll say, is a better game than Halo 4. Yeah, I actually said it. In general, my favorite game franchise is the Metroid games. I love these games. I can replay them over and over again and never get bored of them. Hell, I've beaten Metroid. I've lost count of how many times I've beaten Metroid. Not even kidding you. I've lost count of that. How many times I've beaten the original Metroid. But I love playing the Metroid games. They never get old for me. So the final point goes to Metroid. So Metroid wins 5-0, and this is Ash saying so long. I am out. Good night.